Tropical Storm Bertha is set to make landfall tonight, and communities along the Gulf Coast are bracing for powerful winds and rain. While the storm has now weakened, it still has wind speeds of 50 miles an hour, and it is heading west toward Texas. Wind gusts of up to 56 miles per hour could be felt in some areas, with water levels reaching as high as 4 feet above ground. Expected flash flooding from those rising waters and heavy rainfall is pushing residents along the coast to hunker down. Authorities from Florida to Louisiana have opened up sandbag distribution sites to help all of those folks prepare. NBC News meteorologist Bill Karins has been following all of it. He joins me now. So, Bill, as we mentioned, one of the biggest concerns here is that flash flooding, given that expected storm surge. So what parts of the Gulf Coast could see the highest water levels and potentially flooding?
Yeah, Vicki, this is the type of tropical storm that we like. It's not strong enough really to do a lot of significant damage with the winds. The rainfall is really not that prevalent. And as far as the storm surge goes, once we get through this next high tide cycle, the beaches will begin to improve too. So let me kind of bring you through the latest from the Hurricane Center. This was all just updated in the last hour. Still have tropical storm warnings that do include Lake Pontchartrain and the New Orleans area. But the storm, it's hard even to figure out where it is on this map. The circulation center is closing in on the coastline of Mississippi and Louisiana. It kind of broke. The whole mid-level portion of it is now sheared way to the south. There's barely any rain on shore at all. So this wouldn't surprise me if this becomes a tropical depression in the next 12, 24 hours. The path does take it along the northern Gulf Coast, and it does remain relatively weak, 45, 40, 40. So we're not expecting really any problems with wind or rainfall. The rainfall amounts, they get more rain typically in a normal afternoon than they do with this tropical storm, just because it's so weak. If anything, the breeze feels good and the clouds block all the sun. So as far as the max wind gusts go, we may see some higher gusts down towards the mouth of the Mississippi River, but that would even surprise me. This is the forecast from the Weather Service. Many areas 20 to about 25 miles per hour. So, Vicki, I think once we get through the next 24 hours, we'll be done with this storm. I don't think we'll have any destruction pictures. The only thing is just stay out of the water because of the rip currents and the high, the wave action. Besides that, it's not a problem.
Okay, well, that is great news. I also do want to talk to you about that storm system that has been bringing flash floods to much of the country. West Virginia just said that they're going to deploy 200 additional National Guard members to help. How are they doing now?
Yeah, the mountainous areas got hit really hard yesterday afternoon into the evening hours. That water has since receded, and the storm system is now on the move. So although West Virginia is doing okay, our friends here in Virginia and North Carolina, you're the ones that have to deal with the severe weather threat, which you see in areas of yellow, Richmond and Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and also our friends in Maine. And then the flash flood risk is a little more widespread. That does contain areas from Knoxville, where we do have already in Tennessee a flash flood warning in place. We extend through Virginia, now much of North Carolina, southern portions of Delaware, and even a little space there in areas of Alabama and northern Mississippi. So the timing of the heaviest rain, this will be, typical late afternoon moving through Virginia. The heaviest of it will be also in North Carolina from about 5 to about 10 p.m. And it has been wet. It did rain in this area yesterday, so we already have some moisture on the ground. So if we get the heavy rainfall rates, we will see some additional flash flooding. By the time we get to Thursday, we shift this even further south into areas of North Georgia, northern Alabama, and into areas of especially the Wilmington region. So how much rain are we talking as we go through the next couple of days? Highest totals in North Carolina, that's up to 3 to 4 inches of rain. So that's why we could see some isolated flooding problems, especially in North Carolina, though. Yesterday, those pictures out of West Virginia, Vicki, that's what we're always afraid of. If we get these heavy rainfall rates, especially in the mountainous areas, whether it's in the Rockies or in the east and the Appalachians, these things happen where all that water just collects so quickly and these little streams just turn into raging rivers. I feel for the people of West Virginia. A lot of those small towns, they have a big journey ahead of them cleaning up.
All right, Bill Karins, thank you so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.